and welcome back to Wise Women Rising. It's my absolute pleasure and delight to introduce Helga Dalla today for us. And Helga's here to share a little bit more about her story, about the work she does in health and advancing health naturally. And I wonder, Helga, could we start with like an introduction to you? How did you get into the business of being in advancing health? Where did that start? And maybe we'll start there.
Firstly, thank you so much for welcoming me into your group to share a little bit about my journey. So it's Helga Dalla, like you said. I live on the Sunshine Coast with my amazing husband and my fur baby, Cody. And I'm a mum to 6 granddaughters with number 7 on the way. And on my husband's side, we've got 4 boys and another girl on the way. So soon to be grandparents of 11 combined. Yeah. Wow. So a lot of what I do, the purpose behind what I do is family, to be able to support our family and our grandchildren. I grew up in Canberra and was in the corporate world, in the public service. And after a few events, my partner at the time was diagnosed with cancer, and it was terminal. So he passed away in October, the long weekend in October. And then 2 years later, I met my current husband. So, and 2 years into our relationship, he lost his business partner to a brain tumor. And we both sort of sat back and thought, life is too short. Life is way too short. What are we sitting here waiting for? Why am I in a 9-to-5 job that's making me miserable? And I said, the kids are old enough. Let's just buy a caravan. Got long service leave and rec leave. So I hit the road in the caravan, planned to take 12 months off at half pay. Well, that turned into 3.5 years on the road. And we just bought property, subdivided, so we bought, I think it was 6 properties and turned them into 28 properties in a period of the 3.5 years. And then my daughter was having babies at the time. And I said, I really need to find a place to call home. And he said, just tell them to pitch a tent and come. And I said, I'm a mum, you can't do that with children. So we ended up falling in love with the Sunshine Coast, which is where I am now. But during my travels, I picked up a camera because I said, what am I going to do now? And so I self-taught. I found a mentor, Colin, and from there, we did a project, and I thought I wanted to be different. I always strive to be different, something a little bit outside the box. And I said, I'm going to do a project on twins. And I'll just photograph twins and triplets here on the Sunshine Coast. And when I presented my work to him, he says, oh, Helga, this is incredible work. And he challenged me. He said, why don't you publish a book? So I thought, well, okay. I went on. Don't give me challenges because I'll take them on. So I went and self-published my first book. And I thought, wow, this is really good. I was so enjoying it. And I thought, perhaps I can do this Australia-wide. So I put the feelers out there, and that's how Twins of Australia and A World of Twins was established. And I went on for the next 6 years traveling around Australia, photographing and documenting twins and triplets and their stories in a series of books called A World of Twins. And so life was grand. I was just living the dream, meeting incredible families. And unexpectedly, just before Christmas, we were ready to pack our bags and go and visit the family in Canberra. And hubby says, I'm not well. He says, I've gone to the doctors for a checkup. And I said, oh, short end. 2 days later, he was in intensive care on Christmas Eve having a quadruple bypass. I thought, wow. So I thought I had it all together. So I went along with the motion. I was in the middle of publishing my 5th book and launching a global website, A World of Twins. And I woke up one morning, I couldn't walk. And I yeah, I was sort of devastated. I was on my way to the hospital and I heard on the news Ross River fever was going around. So I Googled crazy Ross River fever symptoms. I said, oh, it's probably Ross River fever. That's okay. So I went to the doctor's blood test and he said, yes, you've got one strand. It was positive and one was negative. So wait another fortnight and come back and get it done again, which I did. But he said, by the way, you've got rheumatoid arthritis. And I said, oh, okay. How do I fix that? Oh, sorry, you can't fix it. You've got it for life. Well, that was like a big sort of slap in the face. So yeah, so from there I went for 15, 16 months with this big hand up saying no medication after seeing what the chemotherapy, which is what they treat you with, a very mild dose, methotrexate, had done to my partner. And I come from a family that are all bipolar, so they're all on lithium and antipsychotic medication and so forth. I'm the black sheep of the family, thank goodness. I said, not for me, sorry. And yeah, so from there, I got worse because I was pushing against the grain. If you try really hard, instead of sometimes going with the flow is better, but if you push really hard, it's just going to push back harder, which my disease did, to the point I couldn't walk, I couldn't steer the car, I couldn't put petrol in, I needed help showering. So going from a complete athlete to that, then depression set in, and I was in quite a bad way, and hubby said, enough's enough, sweetheart, you can't keep doing this. So I succumbed and I started the methotrexate. And yeah, so when I started the methotrexate, I was introduced to the NRF2 activator. And for the firstly, I gave the poor lady that introduced it to me a little bit of curry, because she said I said, is it turmeric? And I had tried turmeric shots. I had tried everything turmeric to no avail, and it did nothing. So I was very skeptical. So I basically rang her up to have a go at her and said, you shouldn't be giving people false hope. So she shared with me some testimonials that just sort of blew my mind. And I thought, oh my goodness, I am super, super excited. For the first time, I had this glimmer of hope that I wouldn't have to rely on this medication, which was making me extremely sick, and side effects of rashes, and was, yeah, not very nice at all. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. So I went to buy my first bottle, and I just went with my heart. I thought, this is it. I'm signing up as a direct sales to share this product, because I know it's going to work. And so I had such a strong calling, and I'm very grateful I did, because within 3 weeks I was off all of my pain medication. And then about 8 to 12 weeks, I said to hubby, I think I want to go for a park run, the 5K run, but I'll walk it, run. And he was very concerned. He said, just, go very slow. You haven't done anything for 18 months. So I went out, and I remember I came back and I walked in, and my apologies if I get emotional here. I walked in and he said to me, oh no, what have you done? I knew you'd hurt yourself, da, da, da. And I said, no, I ran the whole way, swearing. I said, I ran the whole way, jumping up and down, crying. And I said, I can't believe it. And, in 26 minutes, I said, and it was like, I was just gobsmacked. And then I thought, no, I need to share this. I did change my diet. Mindset was massive. So there was I'd say the NRF2 activator has been 80% of my recovery, and the remainder is the diet, the nutrition, all of that. And from that, I thought, I want to create a non-for-profit where I can give back to people, and that's where Advancing Health comes in. It's a holistic approach, and I wanted to be to do collaborations with other women that have helped me along the journey for yoga, and then there's the meditation, mindfulness. So anyone that I resonate with that has things to offer, because I do believe healing is a personal journey. My journey is my journey. And I'd like to offer people like a smorgasbord of options, and a safe environment for people to reach out and say, hey, tell me a little bit about your journey. How did that help? And that allows people to take a little bit of snippet from here, a snippet from there, and in a safe place to try and experiment. Yeah.
There's so much in what you've shared. It's just,
I know.
I'm a bit like, wow. Wow. Okay. So let me just see how I go at reflecting a little of what you've shared. First, I just want to acknowledge that where you've ended up now is really in a place where you are providing a platform for other women to collaborate with you and find ways where you can be sort of a touch point for people to find more meaningful journeys for themselves around their health, and that they can pick and choose and sort of design their advancing of their own health in a way that fits for them. But first, like, to go back and actually acknowledge the inspiration and the sense of like the losses too, and acknowledge that it was through the losses for you personally, for you and your husband, and then the really confronting ways that your health became central focus.
Absolutely.
The loss of your ability to be in the world as an athlete like you'd always known, the sense of loss of choices that I'm sure having the conditions had actually all that impact on you, and that instead of choosing the suffering path, actually choosing the path of courage, that you've not only gone towards the things that called you to support your healing and your recovery, but you've also created a platform for other people to find their way with their health now too. And so really wanting to just acknowledge the significance of your journey, all those wonderful grandkids that are going to be the beneficiaries of this wonderful sort of emergent you, who's now so much more capable as grandma and capable as mum and capable as partner and in life and the projects that matter to you. So there's just joy here, hearing you share your story. And I want to check in if there's some other questions alive already, because I'm sure there are, but the thing that's there for me now is to say, so tell us about this trip. You've just been away for 10 days. And tell us more, like you've mentioned NRF2, with sort of, that's obviously a big piece of your personal story of recovery and gaining your health back. Tell us a bit more about that, but why you were away.
Yes, well, part of my journey from joining this company was for the health benefits of myself and the benefits that I could help people, because I don't know about everyone else. I'm seeing more and more illnesses and ailments popping up, and unfortunately in the younger generation as well. So this product, and I was totally ignorant to the fact, I didn't know what oxidative stress was at all. So I'm not sure if anyone else does, but when I learned about the power of oxidative stress, and the damage that it can cause on the body. If you breathe air, basically, you are creating oxidative stress. And from the age of like 24 onwards, our body can recover and build that oxidative, combat oxidative stress. And then as we age, it just accumulates and gets worse, and it appears as different diseases. So it's the root cause of over 260 diseases known to the human race and animals, mammals. So what this 5-herb, the NRF2 product is 5 herbs, milk thistle, ashwagandha, yes, turmeric, bacopa, and green tea. So what it does is it switches on the NRF2 pathway to allow your body to reduce the oxidative stress. And there are studies, the company's been around for about 13, 14 years. They're on NASDAQ as well. I've got shares in the company because I think it's just a matter of time. It'll be another word like we use cholesterol today, NRF2. So, and as a result, in order to help me share this product and get it out to the masses, I've been able to grow an incredible team, the most beautiful, heart-centered people. And I reached a level in the company by just doing what I love to do, share and helping others. And that's enabled them to create income and wealth, as well as health, and personal development is massive. If anyone's looking to earn some income, but more importantly, go on an incredible personal journey of, you know, learning and developing as an individual, direct sales is the way to go. Yeah. So, and that's part of the trip. It was an all expenses paid trip. With my team, there was 13 Australians that qualified out of 100. So we got to rub shoulders with everyone else in their connections. I've got connections all over the world now. We just call them our family. So it doesn't matter where I go in the world, there's somebody that I can call on to catch up and meet and hang out with. It's just been incredible, and it's only going to get better. I won a trip last year to the Bahamas for 7 days for myself and my husband. And that was, yeah, it's just phenomenal. I can't believe that a company can actually do, you know, really look after and nurture the people that are sharing their products. And it's a way of them to say thank you. They don't have a shop front, so they don't have the overheads of advertising or anything like that. We're their advertising board. We basically go out and share the products, and in return, they gift us with an opportunity to get together in countries all around the world and to play and have fun. So yeah, we went snowmobiling for 2 hours. It was incredible. I've never seen something so beautiful. Like in the wilderness, there was just snow everywhere. Following the girls down on a little track on these snowmobiles was yeah, moments that I'll cherish. Yes.
And perfect time of the year to be there, to have that experience of the winter and the magic and the adventure of it, I'm guessing. And
yes,
I think something that because there's been such a long history of direct sales in our culture, and it hasn't always been wonderful for people to experience direct sales, you know, friends inviting friends over for dinner and then landing them with the business opportunities and, you know, things that haven't sat well with business and friendship together.
Exactly.
One of the things that that feels really precious to me as part of Wise Women Rising, and part of the mission of re-enlivening how women trade, and do more of that word of mouth, and with friends, and being able to share our gifts and talents, and not feeling so sort of split between what is business and what is friendship, and then like having this sense of they can live together really beneficially. So it's curious for me to maybe ask a little bit deeper into, like, how was the transition to you to a direct sales company? What sort of personal transformation? You're talking about the personal development. I'm guessing that actually a big part of the personal development is actually learning how to live with and celebrate being a direct salesperson for a product that you love. So, I mean, will you say a little bit more about that? Because I'm guessing that for a lot of people, it does still feel a little bit apprehensive to hear about a direct sales company.
Absolutely. We still, to this day, I get people saying, oh, it's one of those pyramid schemes. Oh, that's a pyramid scheme. I don't want to touch it. You're making money out of me. We get those blockages all the time. And I guess in essence, that's a little bit why I wanted to do something different again, and created Advancing Health Naturally. Therefore, by offering a smorgasbord, and that is being one of the products, people can organically gravitate towards that if they feel that they want to. We have events that we can share as well, but that's why I'm more about pull marketing, where people gravitate towards you, not pushing. And that's where direct sales has got such a bad name, because people are burning their friends and family and pushing a product on them.
Yeah, without any empathy of how that might be for them to be pressed upon by someone else's enthusiasm the way that it's been done in the past. So
absolutely.
Thanks for sharing more. And I do want to name that actually the way we met was that I reached out to you on your website about your health programs because I was interested in getting some coaching and companionship around my physical health development this year. And it was only through my own searching that I came across NRF2 on your website and was like, no, what's that? And actually did some research myself and then came to you and said, what's that product? Can you tell me some more about that product? Because so I actually am one of your subjects in terms of, like, I've come towards you with curiosity about the product. And I know it's a couple of products, and now I've done some more research. I know there's quite a suite of different products within the company, but this particular NRF2,
yeah, that's their flagship product.
That's the flagship product, and I understand a sort of a minimal amount so far that really being able to switch on the pathways that support the body to combat all that oxidative stress, essentially, and that what I'm experiencing as I've been sharing with shares, I've shared with shares and with Irene, another girlfriend, already, like, oh, I'm starting to really feel and notice the difference, like that I'm not even on both the core products, just the one.
Yeah.
So I know that I've almost got this major curiosity now, like, oh, if I took the other one as well, which is they go together, and the other one's the one that's supposed to switch on all that sort of,
it's the turbocharge your body. Yeah,
turbocharge. Like, one of the things that's a big question for me, like, I wasn't telling myself I was suffering any brain fog. Like, a lot of the testimonials I've read are things like, you know, recovered from brain fog within 3 days, or like things were starting to really shift. Energy was a massive piece of it, energy, metabolism.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm having this experience of noticing shifts and changes already from the first product. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I would like to try the second one. But I wonder if you would say a bit of your personal journey, because you pointed to NRF2 being a part of what recovered you and
Yes.
got you off the medications and so on. Can you say a bit more about what your journey with NRF2, what that has been like?
Yes, well, when I started taking the NRF2, obviously I was excited. And yeah, I was on Nurofen. I was, I couldn't get through the night without getting up at midnight and popping another 2 Nurofen, and that started messing with my stomach as well. So within 3 weeks, all that pain had gone. So I was able to throw the Nurofen away. And that in itself was massive, because I'm not a fan of medications, and it was, so that sort of messed with my head a little bit, that I'm putting this yicky stuff. It's like counterproductive to allowing my body to heal when I'm filling it with it. Yeah. So I struggled with that a fair bit, but within 3 weeks, that just, and then the brain fog, but I can't explain exactly. It's almost an out-of-body experience. You know something's shifting in your body, but you can't quite put your finger on it. I don't know if that's been your experience, but the brain fog went, and then the inflammation went. So being on methotrexate, I have blood tests every month, and I visit him every 6 months. So I asked him if he could pull all of my blood tests together and put them on a graph for me. And it showed the month I started taking the NRF2, my inflammation was gone. It just flatlined. And then he said, oh, you're in remission. And I got so excited. I said, well, I want to stop. And he's going, no. He did not want me to stop. So, you know, I don't know how that affects their hip pocket when somebody wants to go off medication. You know, I don't know. But I said, look, he said, leave it for another 6 months, then we'll reassess it and we'll wean you off it slowly. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll be a good girl. I'll do what you said. So 3 months into the next 6 months, I felt the best I've ever felt. And I listened to my intuition. I thought, no, this is my body. My body's telling me it's happy. It's in a really happy place. So I reduced it by 1/3. And then I went back, and 6 months later I showed him, and he said, wow, your inflammation's like totally gone. It's gone below the normal line. And I panicked, saying, oh, is that okay? Is that dangerous? Or he said, no, that's incredible. And I said, well, I got a little confession to make. I started reducing my medication, 3 months earlier. But he was so insulted. It was almost like I slapped him across the face because I didn't listen to him, and then he lectured me about you shouldn't go. I said, I haven't. I just reduced it by a third. So he said, promise me that you'll leave it for another 6 months and then you can reduce it by, another third, and then so forth. But towards the end, I think I still had, I was down to, I only was taking a third. And towards the end, I think he just got so frustrated. He wrote me a letter after my results and that, and he said, yes, that's fine. If you feel good next month, you can stop straight away. You don't have to take it anymore. So I've got that in writing, and he said, yeah. So he would still like to believe that it's methotrexate that has put it in remission. But what's kept me in remission? I don't know. I have had the occasional mild flare, and I can feel it coming on, but it's 9 out of 10. It's when I have stress and not sat with myself and checked in with my mind and what's going on, and getting myself back into some mindfulness and meditation. Yeah.
And I'm sort of that extra bit thrilled that you bring that piece at the end, because my sense is that there's a growing awareness that we are what we think, and that we cause so much of our discomfort in our bodies by the ways that we're thinking about ourselves or the world, or how we're holding ourselves is very literal, how we're holding thoughts about ourselves in the world, and
absolutely
how they show up in the body. So I'm grateful to have that sort of sense of shared reality with you about the impact of the sort of empathic state, because that's definitely the work that that the Wise Women Rising have been exploring, is that empathic connection. And Shez is actually a certified trainer in the compassionate communication NVC that we do. And the sense I have is that these are the beautiful partnerships, is like getting the science, the science of what do you call it?
Nutrigenomics.
Genomics,
yes.
yeah. So it's this new level of like how we biohack and support our bodies the best we can, and also bring in the compassionate awareness as the two of them complement each other, in my experience, rather well. I'm experiencing a bit of the combination of that. So look, thank you. Let me just check in. I would love to hear from Shez and Lynn, and see if there aren't some questions that have started emerging for them. And perhaps can I start with you, Shez? And do you have any reflections or anything you'd like to ask?
Yes, can so relate to the methotrexate journey. Did that one myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Only, interestingly, I didn't have noticeable side effects that I did have with all the NSAIDs, the non-specific anti-inflammatories. So my question is, and yeah, I have a real empathy and compassion for the doctor not really grokking your sense of what was really contributing to your remission. But so my question is, you mentioned stopping the methotrexate and staying in remission, and I'm just curious about how long it's been since you stopped it. And
it would be about 15, 16 months.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So exciting to get off that medication, because methotrexate's a mini dose of chemotherapy.
That's it. And to live on it long term, the long term effects. Yeah.
I suspect that there's effects happening that I maybe wasn't aware of, but so yeah, that was exciting to hear. And there was something else. Oh yeah, no, just resonating with Karen and the piece about mindset and stress, and so I'm curious about how the NRF2 or how you work with that side of things, the mindset and the stress and yeah, that bit.
Yeah, it has been a gradual process. I recently did a Find Your Fire, a 4-day retreat with Curic Ashley. Not sure if anyone's familiar with him. And I came away, when I walked through on the hot coals, my purpose for that retreat was to get to the bottom of what caused it, maybe, or to prevent it from coming back. And I walked away from that weekend with the biggest aha moment. And I've taken it on board that I actually created my own dis-ease in my body through my uncontrolled mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been constant. When I sat back and watched my childhood, different events, my father's suicide, my niece, just so much stress mentally, emotionally, being a single parent, and then losing my partner to cancer and nursing him, and just little life events, and your body takes so much until it cracks. And I think that was my cracking point when I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose another loved one, sitting in there waiting in theatre, waiting for my gorgeous husband, who's probably fit as a fiddle. He's got new plumbing. He'll go for way longer than I am.
You mean heart plumbing?
Heart plumbing, yeah. Yeah, with his quadruple bypass, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I came away thinking I created this disease, and you know what is more empowering? I can uncreate that if I watch my mindset, check in. Yoga has been incredible for me. I've really learnt how to be in the space and be on my mat. It can be a class full of hundreds of people, but I've managed over time through constant practice and nurturing to actually land on the mat, and it's just me and the mat and and then meditation, of course, as well. Yeah.
So when you talk about to land on your mat, like you're not literally physically on your mat, but your consciousness
absolutely
is as it would be if you were fully present on your,
absolutely
on your yoga mat.
Yeah. Present in the moment. Yeah. Whereas in the past I'd be so caught up in the busyness of everything, and I'm very grateful for the breath, the tools of the breath. I've learnt to use the breath to calm myself down and prepare myself for a lot of life events. That's absolutely. And walking with my dog, getting barefoot on the beach, on the sand, back into nature.
Oh, are you close to the beach?
Yes, just 4 houses down that way.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me while I just have a little bit of envy. I have to drive 50 minutes to get to the beach.
Wow.
So, yeah, I saw something yesterday about self-care is not about chocolate and warm baths. It's about creating a lifestyle that you don't want to constantly escape from.
Absolutely. And I think I've done that. Yeah, I get excited. I get more excitement about seeing my team grow, their personal development, and to nurture them and have accountability. We have accountability sessions every week where we just check in, and similar to this, you share your wins for the week, because often life can be lonely if you're not sharing. You bottle all of that up by, within yourself. And if you've got someone to share the wins and the challenges and to work with you through those challenges. I know that I'm not the person I was a few years ago, and my husband says that. He says, you're not the person I met. He said he's really into personal development. He just loves it.
Right.
He's just so supportive. Yeah. And at the moment he's always been focused on real estate, so he's on a mission now to release disabled people from aged care and hospital, and we're building homes. So he's working with investors and philanthropists to put the money down to buy, build, and let them have a say in the houses that they live in. So everything just interlinks. Like And he joined the business of with my company as well. He said, because every disabled person in a wheelchair needs your product as well.
Yeah, and not just people in wheelchairs.
No, anyone that breathes.
Yeah, I support my brother who's a couple of years older than me, and numerous health challenges, and yeah, the housing options aren't fabulous. Yeah, so there's so much room. I'm excited by what he's doing, and that he's turning that skill and passion for the real estate work that he and you did together in service of your own financial well-being into the broader community,
serving others. Yeah,
I really.
So his website,
really
website is disabilityhousing.com.au. His vision is that it will be another realestate.com, and his vision is to on-sell it to realestate.com.au or to the government. So it's purely a platform where people can advertise their vacancies and so forth as well. That's another arm of his big portfolio.
Yeah, that's exciting, because
both at the point in our lives where we want to give back.
Yeah. I'm excited about that, because my brother is currently living in a rental property, and he's got very low rent because the owner is a friend of his son's, but it won't necessarily go on forever, and it's probably bigger than he needs. And so I'm on the lookout for some other option.
Well, have a look at the website.
Yeah,
you can put an ad up. Just put an ad up, say looking for, and just put, because it's free to list.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
I'm excited that you had the opportunity, that it naturally came, Helga, for you to be sharing about the contributions that you and your husband are making in the area of disability support. I can remember the vision that you shared with me about the empathic design of actually having people who are living with the disabilities be in the design process of how they would most enjoy their living environment to be empowering and support their autonomy and choicefulness and comfort and ease. Like the joy for me is in hearing the sense of respect and care in that empathic design process. So that really excited me, and especially that you are looking at building a prototype of that housing model.
Yes.
And being able to then create something really, really meaningful on the planet from that prototyping. So, you know, again, I'm wanting to be really respectful of all the things that you're holding. The fact that you made time for us today is a real privilege. So thank you. And just wanting to check with Lynn, I think personally too, I think one of the things that I wanted to just finish up on, if you're willing, is to come back to this, this sort of personal impacts on your memory, state of mind, the NRF2, anything you noticed about that, because one of the common experiences I have is having friends express to me their frustration with feeling brain fog or not having the memory they did. Now being just having arrived in my 50s, but having friends in the sort of age bracket where these things are starting to present themselves. I wonder if you would say a bit about your experience with the product and how it's supported you in that sense.
Yes, well, like I said, we have in Australia, we don't have all of the products. It's an American based company. The second product, they've got the NRF2, which is the flagship, which is the product that Australia started with. We've now got NRF1, which is the one. So basically the NRF2 is like, it fixes the rust at the cellular level internally. Instead of taking antioxidants, this switches on the pathway, so allowing your body to make antioxidants. Instead of eating, which is a 1-to-1 ratio of antioxidants, your body makes it on a 1 to 1 million ratio, which is incredible. So your body is doing the work. So you're not taking, It's not a supplement, even though on the bottle you have to say it's a supplement. It's actually an activator. So all it is doing is activating and clearing the rust from your cells, the oxidative stress. It's like when you put an apple and you cut it. In the oxygen, it all goes yucky and brown. Well, that's basically what's happening internally at the cellular level. And then the NRF1 is the turbocharge. So it's going to give you loads more energy. I have a lot of people say to me, where do you get your energy from? I said, I don't know. I just keep going. Life is good. I just keep going. And what I tend to do as well is if I'm, like when I was traveling, I had 2 NRF2s. I'd have one in the morning and one at night. Because I don't have a spleen, my immune system is pretty low anyway. They took that out when I was 16 or something because I had a blood disorder. Idiopathic thrombo, I don't know, unknown cause, and the only way they fixed it was to remove my spleen. So just to avoid colds or anything like that, or if I have a sniffle or sense any unwellness, I'll just take 2, one in the morning and one at night, and it goes away. So 3 years will be my anniversary on both of the products this May. I've been with the company and on the products. A lot of people say, why don't you go off it and see what happens? And I said, well, why would I? It's my life insurance. It's the preventative from catching anything. So if I can prevent it, and because we're getting older, it's more and more important. And I have noticed, I've got my father-in-law on it, and he will swear black and blue he would not be here today. He's been on it 2.5, going on 3 years as well. He and his wife, and he'll be 91 in May. So he's on a Webster pack of, he was a diabetic. The diabetics, he doesn't have to take insulin anymore. So he's stopped doing that. He's cut his warfarin down as well. Yeah, it's incredible. Like my husband's written out his eulogy, I don't know, about 10 times, but he just keeps bouncing back. It's incredible. And we notice a lot of, with the Alzheimer's, a little bit of memory. And that's where the brain fog and all that helps. I've got a girlfriend that her mother has dementia quite severe, and her mother, she lost her sister to suicide many years ago, but her mother can't compute, so that every time she sees Susan, her name is as well, she just relives it. And she calls Susan the sister that passed, and put her on this product, and within a month or 2, all that memory came back. It was incredible. So I don't, some people have amazing experience, some people a lot slower, but what I say to people is it is working 100% in every human body that takes it every day, religiously. If you skip it, it's like dieting. If you're going to skip 3 days and then eat, and you're not going to get the results, but it does work 100%. Whether or not you see it, feel it, is an individual process. Yeah. I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I think so. Actually, the piece about the dementia in your friend's mum was really touching, that she's had a reclamation of memory in a way, in a person where that sort of reclamation of memory is not expected.
Yes.
So I'm really celebrating the efficacy, and that there was no other changes that it could point to other than the NRF2. I'm guessing that's why you're confident about that. That's what the difference was.
Yeah.
That you also have shared it and enrolled your family members in taking the product because of its impact for you. And for me, with products that have been direct selling in the past, I have attempted to enroll family members into good things that I've got onto before. And the last time I did that was with my sister on a product, and her and I both still take it because we both still really love the benefits that we get from it. And there's something about, I wouldn't have gone to my own sister if I didn't actually really trust the product.
Absolutely.
I think there's so much reservation and hesitation about direct sales that you'll only really do it if you really, really believe in the product and that it's given you such the benefit and the difference. It's the difference that you would want it to be for all the people that you love. So there's a sense in me of the legitimacy that you bring to it by naming your family members that you've given to. And I don't think there was any question about that, but just
yes,
layer of care. To start to say thanks, Helga, for the call today, for your time, for your sharing, for your contribution to us. And I guess there's a curiosity in me about, you know, where to from here. So I'll personally be in touch with you about that, because I am keen to try the second product and see what the combination's like, because I'm already enjoying the first product. And I'm keen to, I guess, give you a platform to share anything else that is alive for you about how people maybe get in touch with you if they see this interview somewhere else and they would like to try the product, or is there ways that people can be in touch with you to find out more?
Yes, they can. I guess the best place they can look up, the website is advancinghealthnaturally.org. Being a non-for-profit, so it's got .org on the end of it. I can be reached on the phone, so my number's 0416 221 004. That's 0416 221 004. Or there's always Helga at email, helga@advancinghealthnaturally.org as well. So yeah, I'd love to share some more information and just touch base on that coaching program where we first met. A girlfriend came up to me and she said, you're just amazing helping all these people. You should become a coach. And I'm going, oh, no, I don't want to, I'm not a coach. And then when I thought about it, I thought all I'm doing is sharing what's working for me. And if anyone's passionate about helping other people, well, so I've got that 3-month coaching program too, where I help people that are starting to feel a little bit not happy where they are in life, a little bit of niggling. They know what they got to do, but they just don't know where to start or how to implement. So I basically hold their hand and walk them through the process. Yeah.
Yeah, really powerful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your details. I'm really very pleased to have had the opportunity today to interview you. Thank you for coming and for supporting us. And we look forward to sharing more as your journey unfolds. So staying in touch with us, that'd be wonderful. And thanks to the Wise Women Rising for another session today.
It's wonderful. Thanks for having me.